Everyone is Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live or post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord, our free options trading group on Facebook, along with our Patreon. If you're here right now, say what's going on, how you doing. Happy Friday. We made it through. You know, some people are happy when the day ends on Friday, and some people are not. It really depends on what you're living for, you know. I think as traders we all kind of dread the Friday bell because now we have to wait till Monday to actually trade again. Well, at least for me. I mean, I don't know. I think that not being able to trade on the weekends kind of helps curb the addiction issues. Jeff, going on, Arctic Wolf, Tactical, how you guys doing? Happy Friday. Glad you guys are here. Fario, it's happening. Hope you guys had a good week. You know, my week was actually pretty good, but I would say that in terms of trading, I was definitely moving slow, and the market was slow. I don't know how to say her name. Is it Maya? Maya? I don't know. I try my best, guys. I try my best. Seriously, I agree with you on the addiction thing. Yeah, I mean, I think also the weekend is good for traders because it kind of helps. Like if you made a lot of mistakes that week, it kind of helps you have a little bit of self-reflection and meditation time. Oh, Maya. Okay, gotcha. Yo, Rewords, what's happening? Glad to see you in the chat. Glad to see you on board. What's up, fam? J-Rob, how you doing? Got paid this week, Disney. Qualcomm, Expedia. Nice. Totally unbelievable. What up? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to go live yesterday, but I don't know how many of you guys watched my video. I did do some earnings trades, or I did an earnings trade. I did close some stuff out. Had a nice win yesterday on the Square Iron Condor. And Dutch King, I haven't traded futures in a while. I do mess with it from time to time, but I tend not to. So kind of going into things here, I had, if you guys watched my video from yesterday, I did have an Iron Condor on Booking, also previously known as Priceline, was PCLN. Now it's Booking. I preferred PCLN, but you know now we got BKNG. I have a play on Tepa, and then I've been waiting for these Uber. I haven't been able to sell this Uber. So I had an Iron Condor on Uber. What was it, Monday? Uber reported earnings, or Tuesday, and I sold the put side off, thankfully, because then it would have been in the money. You know, I made good money on it, but I haven't been able to sell these or close the call side, so it's just gonna have to expire. It's gonna expire worthless. So waiting for those to fall off. But in terms of the trades today, so booking yesterday, you know, I think that I kind of covered it yesterday, but kind of recap for those that didn't hear. Like, why would you trade Booking? Now, Booking / Priceline have gone back quite a long time, and it was one of my favorite stocks to trade, even though like the option volume is near terrible. I mean, these are not looking so bad today, but some, like the illiquidity sometimes is like if you look here, the bid is 5 cents, the ask is 2.10. You know, the bid here $1.10, the ask is 3.80. I mean, it's a nightmare. So if you're gonna trade low volume options, I definitely don't recommend buying options. That's why I would prefer to. That's why whenever I trade something like this, I always trade. I'm always selling premium in here. So I did have an Iron Condor on, and I had I was selling the 1750 puts and the 1747 I bought the 1747.50 calls, and then I puts, and then I sold the 1950 calls. So basically, I needed to be between 1950 and 1750, and I got $1.25 credit in here. Now, when I put the order in for booking, it was telling me it was going to be like a 60-cent credit, but because I knew like kind of how much it was worth, I actually priced it probably a little bit too low. I probably could have got $1.30, $1.35 for it. Instead, I know that I got a little bit of a raw deal when I put the order in. I immediately got filled. So I like to, like with illiquid options, I like to just play around with the pricing, because a lot of times if you start high, sometimes you'll get the higher price. But if you're like a newer trader, I definitely don't recommend going right into like trading this stock. Like it's a nightmare. You definitely want to know how option pricing works, and you definitely want to know. You definitely want to use limit orders. You don't want to go like right at the mid price. Mid price yesterday when I put that order on was 60 cents, and it was if you put a 60 cents in there, someone's probably gonna give it to you at 60 cents there instead of getting a $1.25 credit. You would only get a 60-cent credit. So hopefully your platform like Tastyworks maybe help you out. But if you put the order in, you put the order in, So, that's why you got to kind of play around with the option pricing. So for me, since they were $2.50 wide strikes, I had a $1.25 credit with a $1.25 max loss. So I actually bought the call side back for $1.21 today. The puts are expiring worthless, but so I only made $4 on this trade, and I could have went max profit, but what I was concerned about on booking, so I only made $4 on it. But at open, I needed it below 1950. This spiked up to like 1954 area before dropping, and today was expiration Friday, and we could have really used data to our advantage, but in what I believe is I would rather make $4 in profit than going max loss on this trade or getting screwed where the short leg, so the 1950 put is in the money. I'm sorry, the 1950 call, I don't know why I keep getting those mixed up. The 1950 call is in the money, and the 1950-250 call is not. And then you can get in a little bit of trouble with your account. If you get assigned that and you're not able to exercise the other one. Like what I'm saying here is, if you guys can't visualize what I'm saying, like for BKNG, and I upgraded to the new Tastyworks, and look, it doesn't work all the time. So what I'm saying is, I was selling the 1950 call, and I bought the 1950-250 call. Yo, Squids, what's going on? Rob, yeah, if you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Now, how you can get screwed on this order is, so it was playing around here around the 1950 mark, and if it expired or came close to expired, or it was in the money, so let's say booking was above 1950 and somebody chose to exercise that, I would then get assigned, but then I wouldn't have been able to exercise the 1950-250 call to cover my losses, because it would have been out of the money, and I would get margin called and that whole thing. So I would then be short 100 shares of booking without being able to exercise my long option. So I don't like to play around on expiration Friday. If it's not working out, I'm going to take it out. So I was able to make a $4 profit. Came out the gate kind of rushing. They did do well in earnings, so I thought maybe this is going to try to push up higher. The reason why booking was down was because TripAdvisor and Expedia reported earnings and they bombed. They were all down like 25-30%, and booking was down because of that. But then booking beat earnings, so it came back up. So I thought maybe it was going to squeeze up to 2,000, but it obviously didn't. We came to a halt here. I sold it right at open. I mean, my order, you can see here. When it goes against me when I'm selling an iron condor or I'm selling premium, I'm looking to get out break even, and I actually did see, as you can see, my price that I put in here was $1.25, and they gave me $1.21. So, Art HD, how you doing? Squid with the first like. Yeah, if you guys are liking the content, help me out. Let YouTube know what's up. Jimmy got paid. Squid got paid. I'm tired of Robinhood such a slow brokerage. Going to be using strictly Thinkorswim for now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Robinhood is not for day trading. And if you're in a highly volatile stock, let's say Tesla or Netflix or anything like that, you're definitely gonna get the raw end of a deal when you put the order in, or not filled at all and lose out on profits and stuff. Arctic finally moved from Robinhood and opened a cash account on TOS today. Was my first day trading. It made quick $23. Nice. So came away with $4, which pretty much covered the fees on that. But you know, that's my thought process. I'm just trying to give you guys some background on some of the thought process that goes by. Like if you're like, oh, you had an iron condor and you could have made max profit at 1879, closed way below 1950 and way above 1750, right? So yes, that's true. But my thought process, I just want to show you kind of my thought process on selling premium on expiration Friday is that whole thing. Same story, new complainers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody uses it. Like seriously, I mean, I do use it. Kind of show you here, but the way that I use it, I mean, I mainly use it just to do. I'll show you my account here. I mean, I literally have like nothing in here, a couple $100, and all I do, I don't day trade on it. I just have a couple spreads on here that I put on. You know, in the last week or so, it's kind of gone up and down. But on Robinhood, I really just put some spreads in there, try to do like a small account challenge with myself and see. But it's really is a terrible platform for active traders. If you're doing more than, let's say, if you're doing more than one trade a day, Robinhood, not it. Unless you're going to sit on it for a long time, like this Tepa trade. It has a January expiration. I have the January right here, and then like this Beyond trade that I've been bag holding. I mean, this is for next week, but I've been holding on to it for already over a week. So you know, in here is nothing serious. It's just messing around with some spreads, some earnings trades, nothing crazy. You know, making some content for YouTube, because a lot of the people that find this channel is through Robinhood videos. So, you know, like it or not, Robinhood still has millions and millions of customers that don't really know, you know. Robinhood is what I started with as well. Didn't know about any others. Put 800, made 400 and cashed out. Made 800 playing with profits I made. Nice. Then I did do one day trade today. So my only other, I mean, today where the market was just slow until, I mean, it like did spike up in the end. So I did do one day trade today. Amazon, I bought the 1775 put for $1.12 at 10.12 today. So if we go to Amazon was kind of a dangerous trade. So today I didn't really get into it because I was afraid that like the China news was starting to get up. You know, Trump denied rolling back tariffs. So there's been some confusion on what's happening with the trade talks. You know, we've been saying, or not us, I mean CNBC, Yahoo News, all those people are reporting U.S. and China have agreed to like tariff rollbacks, but then today Trump says, "Hey, we didn't agree to any of that stuff. I don't know what you guys are talking about." And then the market starts selling off in the morning, and then it recovered, obviously. So at 10.12, I thought it could return to 775, and never did. So right on, 10.12. So right on this candle, right in here, I bought the 775 put for $1.12, and then 11 minutes later, 10.23, I sold it for 80% profit, $1.92. So we just caught this leg down, and I'm glad that I did, because you want to take your profits on expiration price. I was playing day of expiration. You don't want to mess around, because now if you look at this put here, I had this 775. I mean, obviously it's expired or worthless. Like, if you're doing a day trade at expiration Friday, you need it to move. And so I bought it around. I bought it at 10.12. So on this candle here, it spiked up. Actually went as high as 250. But as you can see, after this spike, it just went straight downhill. So I took my profits right away after 11 minutes. So I sold it at a dollar. I got $1.92 for it. So I sold it right here. So I'm not saying I caught the top, but I mean, I got the majority of this candle here, because instantly it came back down to $1, and then that's where you get in trouble when trading day of expiration options. People think that they have time for the trade to work out, but they don't realize how aggressive theta is going to be at the longer you stay out of the money. And I was out of the money, so. Only use Tastyworks. So I trade primarily. My orders are on Tastyworks. I do have my fees. Obviously, everyone's fees on Thinkorswim got lowered, so I'll probably be doing some more trading on there. Just the bulk of what I do right now is on Tastyworks. But I'm going to be opening up some other accounts here. I'm going to be reviewing. I'm going to see, I'm going to open up a Charles Schwab account. I already have E-Trade. I already have Fidelity. I already have a lot of them. So I'm actually going to be opening, one of the next ones I'm going to be opening is a Charles Schwab account, and seeing how that goes, and seeing what kind of tools they have, and actually making some videos about that so we can see what's going on. I had a QCOM call, but it was way too high. Never panned out. Yeah, I mean, when you're buying options for earnings, you gotta, if you're going far out, I mean, you have to kind of calculate, like, what is, like, for Qualcomm. I mean, it did move from 85 and 84 and moved up to 94, but this would have faked a lot of people out on the sell-off here, because a lot of people would think, oh, it hit 92, sold off all the rest of the day. They were probably thinking there was going to be continuation down, probably back down to here, but then it ripped up all day today, which probably pissed a lot of people out. How can you see the option on a big chart like that? So Squids, all you have to do is, let's say I look up Qualcomm. You go to the options chain on Tastyworks, and then let's say I want to look up the 94 strike. Just right click on the ask and hit copy. So I'll copy that, and then you go to the chart here and highlight this and hit and just paste it, Control V, and there you go. You can see how much an option price. You can see how much an option price is going for, and you can kind of see if option pricing is leveled out or not leveled out, or So you can, through Thinkorswim, you can actually track the individual strikes in the individual contracts, which is really nice. About Tastyworks feed, I just got my account today and did a test trade. I bought to open. I was charged $1.14. Could not find an explanation. So, was it an index? If you're trading like SPX or something like that, there are additional fees. Only seen the quick part, but I need it bigger. So yeah, I mean, you can Squid. You can actually have any time frame you want. Like, this is the 15-minute time frame, but if you want to do like an hour, or it looks like an hour, this is not much volume on this strike, but you can figure that out. You can play with it any way that you like. Disney, PCG. I don't know why it would cost extra 14 cents. Usually, was it a spread, or was it just a was it a spread, or was it just a single option? Disney today. So Disney did surprise. I know a lot of people traded. Did anyone here make money on Disney? I didn't trade it. I told you guys why I didn't want to trade it yesterday, just because I thought it was at flight risk, and it did test up here 140 and technically got rejected where the 140 is. Just to put. Let me see. Let me put an order in PCG right now and see what my fees are going to be. I'm just going to buy a put for next week. Um, yeah, the estimated fee, so it's going to be $1 per contract plus 14 cents for me as well. So they're charging 14 cents routing fees on PCG. Now if I go to SPY on Tastyworks, buy a put, that's 14 cents as well. So I don't know. Maybe they raised the routing fee because now they're charging $1 per contract plus 14 cents. So it's $1.14. You know. So it's 57 cents. I mean, it's still cheaper than 65 cents a contract. So they're charging 57 cents. But now we're coming down to like pennies on these guys. You know, Tastyworks used to have a very clear advantage, but now we're talking, less than 10 cents. You know. Nick, can you explain the 138 call on Disney? I followed you at open. Premium was above 200 online, and then it was 140. Then immediately dropped. So at open, premium was above 200. Let's look at that 138 call. Let's see what the timing was on this. So yeah, this one went up, spiked up. So you need to have sold it because as you can see, it was just dropped quick, and then it came back up to like 139. So it was flirting with being deep in the money by $2 and being out of the money at 137.70. So that's why there's a big fluctuation. Also, when when a stock like gaps up that big, options are often mispriced a lot. So what I like to do a lot of the times, like if I'm in a winning position, I will queue up my orders and try to hit these top spots here because you're not going to be quick enough on your own. So if you pre-queue the order, so let's say before open, 3 minutes before open, 5 minutes before open, you put an order in for 250, you most likely will hit it versus like putting an order in for $2. I mean, you'll still hit it, but might as well try to get the bigger number because when volatility hits at open, you could take advantage of that if it spikes up, and the options are most likely mispriced a little bit at open, and it takes a few contracts to get the pricing right for the markets to kind of balance out for the pricing to come through. And then on as you can also see, volatility got crushed down here as well today. So you're kind of fighting a lot of things. And then also Theta's really ramped up because today was expiration. So Robinhood didn't even show that Disney went to 168 for the 142 call. Yeah, Squids, Robinhood doesn't show a lot of the times, like not necessarily option pricing, but you'll also notice on stocks, like it doesn't necessarily. I've done videos on this before. It doesn't call out like higher days on some of the stocks when they do on like some platforms. Like on Disney, let's say it's 141.84. Robinhood might say the high was like 140.50, which 141.84 is a big difference, So it doesn't necessarily have accurate information because it doesn't update that fast. Trade options 3 months out, so decay isn't a factor, and you'll make a killing like me, Armando. Armando, I mean, I do. I mean, I have options like Tepa that are far out there, but I mean, there's a time and a strategy. Like everyone has different risk profiles, and in the market, there's a million ways to make a profit. You have to go what works for you. If that works for you, good. But that's not like, I don't suggest people to trade like me ever. I don't suggest people to trade like you. They have to. I think it's good to hear from a variety of people and understand how they trade and see how that can help you out. It really depends on what your goals are. If you're buying premium, if you're selling premium, if you're doing debit spreads, you're doing credit spreads, if you imply volatility. I mean, there's a million things that could decide when you take on a trade, what the expiration is, what strikes. I mean, there's a million things that go into all that. So Armando, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I agree with the theta factor, but if you're, let's say you're doing like selling premiums on an earnings trade, I mean, you really want that theta factor, but if you're buying options, like for me on the Amazon, I traded day of expiration today, but the goal was just to do a quick day trade, get in, get out, kind of a scalp. It wasn't looking, I wonder if Amazon's going to hit 2,000 the next 3 months. It wasn't a speculation like that, Some people are good at seeing what's the future like, and some people are very short term. Some people are more long term, some people are more short term, and some people are in the middle. So you really, like, each person has their own strategy that works for them, is what I'm trying to say. Dan, what's going on? Didn't load up on my phone until 5 minutes after the bell went off. Yeah, with Robinhood, you have to queue up those orders. Look at the chart on something else and put the orders in if you're still using it. But like I said, if you're actively trading in Robinhood is not it, man. XPE was amazing. Yeah, J-Rob, you just did good on Expedia. Expedia, all those travel stocks took a dump on earnings. This was green today, but as you can see, it went from 135 all the way down to 97, 95 yesterday. That's crazy. People were probably thinking more down today, but like Tesla today, they had such a big day yesterday. They really just chopped it up today. So what was the other one I was just going to cover? Tepa. So Tepa, I have a debit spread for January 2020 on here. Currently up on that position, 35%. Now this is a very small position. I didn't go very big on it, obviously. So it's to January 2020. But Tepa they raised their guidance. And what I'm looking at in Tepa, now that it actually closed above $9, I'm looking for it to make a push towards 10. It's been kind of making higher lows here and been going up, but it's been getting rejected around the 9 mark. But today's the first day it's closed above 9 since July. So it's the first time it closed above 9 since July. Looking like it's going to make a rebound here. I currently have, like I said, I have a small position. My max loss is $40 on it. My max profit is, I think, 180 or so. But I bought the 10 call and I'm selling the 11 call for January 2020. So Armando, I see I got some plays out there that are months away. So that one. The reason why, like for like single digit stocks, you never really know how long it's going to take, because single digit stocks could move very, very slow. So then, for that you'd want to buy it further out, which I did. Rob's got the 8 put from Tepa. Rip. The puts are. If you go to the monthlies, today alone on the monthly, these lost 80% of the value. Go out to December, these lost another 50% of value. I'm in January right now, so I have the January call. So these increased by 50, 60, 70% today. So Armando, who are you talking to? Are you talking about somebody in the chat, or are you talking to me? I'm not. It's not clear. Been green by selling premium every day. Yeah, I've been. There hasn't been a lot of day trading opportunity, so selling premium. I'm with you, Dan. It has been the win. I did do that day trade on Amazon, which worked out nicely, but I really didn't do much day trading this week. So kind of where I think things are going. If the trade news stays low, we're grinding up slowly. So this is people keep trying to short this, but if you look at previous charts, we could melt up for quite some time. As you can see here, this is a big melt up. Yeah, we had down days and down weeks, but the big trend is intact. And now that we're above 30.20, so above 30.20, I'm really on the long side, and now we're looking like to touch 3100 on the S&Ps. Let's try to get 10 likes. Appreciate you guys. All right, any stocks you guys want to look at? Enough about me ranting about randomness. I don't know if I'm adding value or not, or just rambling today. It's Friday. Armando, no problem. I didn't know who you were referring to. That's all. It's all good. Your Arctic, appreciate it. The podcast. Yeah, we got the next episode coming out on Tuesday on the podcast. Rob, CNST. So it looks like they did well on earnings. Constellation Pharma. I mean, I generally don't like to trade these type of stocks. I mean, I'm mostly for options trade. I'm mostly an options trader, and they don't have any options. So, I mean, I definitely think that if it rips up, I've traded penny stocks in the past, and it looks like a pump and dump. But I mean, it could very well be a good stock. I don't know, but I don't typically trade. I typically don't trade the pump and the dumps. Penny stocks I don't really like because there's a lot of things that are sketchy. You got all the penny stock traders, you got the newsletters all pumping stuff, and it doesn't take a whole lot of volume. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of volume for a stock to go flying. You just need more buyers and sellers and for them to be hitting that ask, until they start dumping it on you. So I typically stay away from these types of setups and these types of stocks. CVS. So CVS, they had good earnings. They've been grinding up this week. I mean, now that they're above like the 70 area, which has been having trouble in the past. I mean, this looks like a full-on recovery up into the 80s. Baba, Jimmy. So I haven't traded. I traded Baba for earnings, and that was about it. I mean, now it did break above the 182 area resistance. It was having a lot of resistance around the 182, 183 area, and now that we've broken above that, I'm looking to see if we can get to 190. But the problem, if you were day trading this, the problem is the headlines. Like this instantly went from 188 down to 185 and back up to 188, and it was just because of the China news. So it's, if you're able to play it further out and you have a good idea. However, even longer out plays are suspect to getting screwed up. So you may have the best technicals in the world, but if, let's say, Trump wakes up angry tomorrow and says, we're going to slap on more tariffs onto China because they're pissing me off, I mean, this is going to go back down to 175, 180. And then your technical analysis is out the window. So what I would be doing, since volatility is relatively low right now, I would just buy some strangles. Strangles have always done well for me on Baba during the trade war. I mean, I've made quite a bit of money doing Baba strangles. Thoughts on SPY? Like I said, on S&Ps, for SPY, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm pretty much bullish above like the 305 area. I traded ATO option puts for a week. Look at weekly chart and see option moves. ATO. So I mean, these don't have. I don't know. These don't have any volume on them. I don't know. Yeah, there's like zero volume on these. I mean, the chart looks good. It looks like it moves a lot, but like almost nobody trades these. Actually, nobody. Oh, there's one contract here in April 2020. So I typically shy away from that. So I think for Netflix, really needs to get above the 300 area. It's been having a really hard time between 290 and 300. I mean, it did shoot up on earnings and then immediately sold off. I mean, it's been having a hard time getting above 300 since August. Ever since it get into the 300 range, it's been having a very hard time. And yes, it has some nice bases, and you can see that it has been having some nice charting here. But for me to be bullish on Netflix, we really need it to. I want to see it above 310. How do I feel, Faria? How do I feel about Alibaba next week? I mean, I'm bullish on Alibaba. I'm bullish on Alibaba as a general company. I like Alibaba. Excuse me. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think about the company if there's tariff and trade news. That's the biggest issue right now. Like, I definitely think Alibaba would probably be over 200, 250 a share right now if it wasn't for the trade war. Manny, how you doing? But reality is we are in a trade war, and the Chinese stocks take a hit. Had great earnings. Baidu had good earnings too, but Baidu's just been chilling between 100 and 110 last few months. I mean, all the Chinese stocks. I mean, if we look at JD. JD is actually one of them that are doing pretty well, but Baidu has been doing the worst. Baba actually has been recovering pretty nicely. Has some nice swings. JD. So I mean, the Chinese stocks are good to play, fun to play. If you have the capital to do strangles and stuff like that. A lot of people don't have the capital for that, but Baba, all the Chinese stocks are good for strangles. NIO, I mean, I actually do own some stock, but I don't really know where it's going to head. I mean, this thing's either going to go to the moon or to zero. It's like what are you supposed to do with it? It's $1. It had a nice run this week. It did hit 240 until it dumped down to under 2 again. So I just think it's tough. I mean, it's a Chinese stock, let alone they have electric vehicles and all that stuff. I mean, I think it's a tough stock to value, honestly. I mean, Tesla is growing in China, and that's doing fine, but I don't really know. The thing is, I don't know in terms of market share, NIO versus Tesla, and what the competition is. Where Tesla's doing some numbers. I mean, I think that Tesla, if they keep it up, I mean, definitely could be above 400, but they're really news driven at this point. I mean, they have what is their market cap? 40 billion market cap. I think they're poised for a strong future, but also we have to consider their competition. I do think like their AI and all that is ahead of their competitors. However, the big dogs like Mercedes, BMW, all that, they're coming into play. UPS going to keep ripping on Monday. So UPS and FedEx, I think they're gearing up for a pretty big holiday season. FedEx had a nice rip from 150 to almost 170 this week as well. Sergio, appreciate you. Thanks, man. Doing fine. Yeah, I was trading FedEx for a while when we were hitting these lows. I don't know why I stopped. I think FedEx is more interesting to me than the FedEx chart right now. I'm sorry. FedEx is more interesting to me than the UPS trade. UPS, I mean, it could easily grind up, but I think that FedEx has more room to grow. Their chart in terms of, since I'm more of like a support and resistance trader, FedEx is more interesting to me versus I don't typically like just endlessly trading new high after new high because it's often slow. I mean, if you look at Apple, that's kind of where we're at on Apple right now, where we're just slowly trading new high after new high after new high, which is not that interesting to me. And yes, we had good earnings, but now we're just like slowly grinding up. So best thing that you could do is buy a call a little bit further out, and then I would probably buy like 265 call further out, and then a 250 put just for protection, or 245 put for protection. It's something that I would do, but like in terms of like being a weekly trader or trading weekly options, it's a slow move. It's boring. But I mean, today I had some nice action. I mean, went from 257 to 260. I mean, that's pretty nice action. But I mean, just things took forever. Appreciate it, Armando. NAO tips when Tesla finishes factory. Squid traded FedEx and UPS. Nice. Uh, 30 watching. Smash the like button. Yeah, if you guys like to kind of hit the like, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Apple. We've been. Was anybody here trading 2017, 2016? Now, if you guys remember, let me go back here. Now, if you guys remember if you think the market is slow now, I mean, back then, VIX hit 857. We were trading single digits on the VIX for a long time. Yeah, we had spike ups and stuff like that, but essentially, if you look at 2017 was a very low volatility year, and we just kind of grinded up day after day after day after day after day, and it was relatively boring. And VIX was hitting 8, 9, staying under 10, and we had some days that popped up. But I mean, if we go to S&Ps for like that time frame, it's like 2017. I mean, they were counting on CNBC how many days it had been since we had a 1% move to the upside or to the downside, and it was very, very low and slow, and people kept shorting. And sure, we had some dips, but relatively, I mean, we just kept grinding and we just kept making new high after new high after new high after new high. And the market right now is very reminiscent of that, but the only thing different about the market now is the trade stuff, and then some of the economic data that's coming through, right? A lot of what happened in 2016 and 2017 was just the euphoria of Trump winning the election, and it was I would say that was a very long year and a half of very low volatility. And as you can see down here, implied volatility, I mean, it was just unbearable. Yeah, Disney Plus. So Disney Plus comes out next week as well. I think for Disney, so I was looking at a play on here today. It did kind of pop up, but it was selling off pretty much all day today. It did pop up at close. I mean, it went from 140, came back down to 137, popped up to 138. Now, my concern right now, if I'm going long, is I need it to break this 140 area, which has been having difficulty in. So back in September, it tried a couple times to break this area. So on November 6th and November 9th, tried to break this area, and ever since then, it's been below. And then we had good earnings, but now we're still below. So hopefully, What we need is for Disney to start reporting and releasing. What I was hoping that they were going to do was they could release their pre-sign-up numbers, even though the sign-up number they probably don't want to release it because the pre-sign-ups are not it's not done yet. So hopefully they come out with, oh, this X amount of people have signed up for Disney Plus before the streaming service even launched, because they've been promoting this for what, 2 months or like at least a month, where they've allowed people to sign up for the $6.99 a month or $69 a year. So people have been signing up, but we don't know what that is. We have no idea, and they didn't really say. So hopefully, once we start getting some Disney Plus numbers, we're gonna get some push-ups, unless they're disappointing, and then what's gonna happen there. They're gonna sell this thing. So I think the one thing is, I do think that Disney Plus will be a success, but it doesn't really matter what I think. It matters what the numbers are. So they need signups. They need people. They need millions and millions of people to sign up. Is what they need, and they need millions of people to enjoy the content. And they need good reviews of like all the Marvel TV shows. And I'm talking about the new ones. Everyone knows all the old movies that are on there, but what we want to know is like the Loki series going to be good. All those Marvel series going to be good. We don't know. Our customers going to like it, because we do know that a lot of people do like Netflix originals. So like a lot of the Netflix originals get high reviews. But we need someone on the inside. Yeah, the only reason why, and this is the only reason why I haven't signed up for Disney Plus, and I'm going to sign up the day it comes out. The only reason why I haven't signed up to Disney Plus is because they're not letting you pre-package. They're not selling any pre-packages. So when Disney Plus comes out, they're going to have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN as a package. And right now, it's just Disney Plus that they're selling for that $7 mark. Because I currently have a Hulu subscription. I would like to condense these things down. Is the only thing. That's why I haven't signed up personally. But if we can, I would like to consolidate service, because I have right now. I'm loaded up. I got Netflix, I have Hulu, I have all the cable channels, I got HBO, HBO Go, Showtime. With Star Wars and Marvel, it's going to pop, I think. Yeah, I think it'll do well, but like, it's the stock market. You can't assume. You can't. You can't, when you're trading options, you don't have time to be wrong. You could unless you're buying far out, but even then you don't want to take the bloodbath. Mighty Ducks reboot. Yeah, I do think that Disney's probably one of the most interesting stocks going forward for the next, like, let's say, rest of 2019 and 2020, and then next quarter for Disney, I think it's going to be humongous, because they're going to be reporting on those numbers, and they're going to be, they have FX and they have Fox, and Disney owns a lot of the media, which is scary but good at the same time. It's scary to have media outlets to have that much control and that much power over that much media. Kind of going into being a democracy and all that, we know that the media is highly filtered, and if a company has a lot of control, that's not necessarily a good thing. Just wait till Elizabeth Warren gets in here and demands to break up Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Disney. Yeah, Monster has been an incredible stock. They've up like 60,000% in the last 10 years. Yeah, and I think I was actually telling some people that in the slow market, I think makes people become better traders because you really have to be selective on what you trade, because if you pick something wrong, you're going to get burned. So I think that in terms of discipline, a slow market is good for people that are learning, because then when the market is highly volatile, we have a lot of things that we could trade, right? We could literally trade anything. If the market's going up, we could trade anything. If the market's going down a lot, we could trade anything. But now when the market is flat, we have to make very specific trades. And I think for me, like when we were coming off the high volatility down to low volatility, it took me a week or two to get my brain adjusted to what market we're in. Because when the market changes, your strategies need to change. You can't just be using the same strategy for any type of market, because then you're gonna make a lot of money, and then you're gonna lose a lot of money, and then you're gonna make a lot of money, then you're gonna lose a lot of money, and there's not gonna be. I mean, what's the point of that? It's okay to have red weeks, but you don't want red weeks to turn into red months to turn into red years, you know. Watch FGen, even though you don't like them. Yo, good day. What's going on? They got some J-Rod, they have some option volume. I mean, the option volume on these is not bad. I mean, these have a lot better option volume than most. In terms of like Pharma, it's hard to keep track of Pharma. So Pharma, like BIIB for instance as well. I mean, you can't time the gap ups or the gap downs, right? Because look, twice this year, only 2 times out of the whole year have we had a humongous gap up and then a humongous gap down, and all of this is related to phase 1, phase 2 trials and all that stuff. So like some people really get into the whole Pharma and prescriptions and understanding the whole, but the stock goes down, like one person dies in the a drug trial. I mean, their stock goes. I mean, it could ruin your position. Mike Matthews. Yeah, I mean Tesla has been. I was actually really surprised that Tesla's been holding above like the 315. It did dip down to 309 this week and immediately get bought up, which is crazy. I mean, this hit 309, it got pushed up to 320. Then a couple days ago, it hit 314 area, immediately got bought up to 327. So, I mean, it's just amazing that buyers are coming in, and now we have precious metals are going down. But they were, major media like CNBC and people were reporting, because we're rolling back tariffs, they're saying because we're rolling back tariffs, stocks are coming out of money is coming out of bonds and precious metals and going back into the stock market. Which now today Trump said that that's not, we're not rolling back anything. There's been no agreement. So they make the headlines up, Rob says, I think Tesla got recategorized. What do you mean by recategorized? What, Pharma stock lotto? I got you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on like the lotto plays. One of the stocks, I mean, Amazon, Google has been doing pretty well this week. Google has broken above the 1300 and been pushing, but Amazon is still just been lagging in terms of where they're at. I mean, they haven't been able to go anywhere. They've after the fall under 1850. I mean, they made a couple pushes to 1850, but it hasn't been able to push. Now it's getting weak around the 1800 area, which should be worrisome to some shareholders. Oh yeah, Tesla did announce yesterday that they're going to have Elon did announce that they're going to have a new truck. But in terms of Amazon, I mean, hopefully they have a good holiday season. Otherwise, I think they could be in trouble next quarter when they report, because they're starting to make lower highs here. Where if this is a high, obviously this is a high up here. If this is another high, then we have another high here. I mean, they're going to come down to 1700, 1650 area. I think the only one really is just like AT&T. AT&T seems interesting now that it's had the 5-year mark breakout. AT&T, I don't trade it a lot just because it's pretty slow. Implied volatility is like near zero right now. So I mean, I guess you could get some good cheap options for them, but it's not typically a stock I would trade. I mean, really good volume on the monthlies. So I mean, if you want to trade the monthlies, go for it. But you know, 5G is going to be humongous. So if anything, I'd probably like for something like this, I'd probably prefer to buy shares than waiting for the 5G rollout and all that stuff. You know, yeah, Verizon, I don't. You know, Verizon. So what's interesting to me, being a support and resistance trader, is AT&T this year or just recently had a breakout after being held down for 5 years in a tight range, and now, you know, Verizon can't get above 61. So this is not that interesting to me. It's been in this range for a year. So, all right, guys, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. Hit that like button if I would appreciate it. You know, you guys have a good weekend. I'll be here Monday. So, as always, stay safe, stay green. It's us for Third.